I'm dedicating this stream, this particular episode, to the Russell Wilsons of the world, or just basically the responsible, average working, hardworking, average American men. Um, there's a reason why most men are struggling in the dating department, or they'll find a girl and then the girl will be like, I can't do this no more. Right here, I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this for a while. If you are the average, hardworking, responsible man, even if you're a high earning, responsible man, and you're struggling in the dating market, or you're struggling to keep women, or you were a dude, you were married, and all of a sudden you got into a divorce, and you tried to listen to your wife, and she still wasn't quote unquote happy. There's a reason behind that, and low key, this is why when we talk about, man, why are women always find themselves in toxic relationships? This is why.
Nothing is going to call you out more than a healthy relationship. Like, everybody wants them, but it's like, do you want a mirror in your face all the time? All the time. Especially the girlies that have attitude problems. Like, that man is not going to take the bait. That man is only going to care about your feelings. Like, imagine that, like the audacity to validate my feelings. So now I can't blame this attitude on you. Like, what do you mean I have to look at myself because I'm the problem majority of the time? Like, I hate that for me. I hate that for us, guys. Nothing is going to call you out more than.
Any other questions, guys? And I want you guys to look at the comments. I want you to find this video and look at the comments. Here, the top comment says, my boyfriend straight up asked me, so what is the solution? Because we can't argue about this again. She said, I glitched. Like, what do you mean solution? Like, we solved this and we don't argue about this again. Like I said, I'm talking about women will literally say this is what they do. They'll literally talk about how they have mental issues. They have attitude problems. Even the woman in the video admitted this. They'll say all these things are wrong with them. Right. And then we'll look at the stats. 80% of women, 80% of divorces are initiated by women. You'll see these videos where they'll literally say, dude, there's nothing wrong with divorcing the good guy, right? Even if he does everything right, there's nothing wrong with divorce. You'll see all of this. And for some reason, dudes can't put two and two together. I keep trying to tell you, they prefer a toxic relationship, or they prefer not being in a stable situation, because women are as creatures, they are not how do I say this? They're basically big bags of they're emotional. They're just a big bag of emotion. They're a big ball of emotion. Right? They're only really functional probably 1 week out of the month most times. So they're always in some kind of pain, they're always some sick, there's always something wrong. Always something wrong. They're never healthy. So they're just so used to being on edge, or not on it, but they're just so used to feeling something, so much so that if they're in a stable situation, they're gonna fuck it up naturally. Most of them will fuck it up, especially when you're talking about America, where the laws are created where they can just pull the plug without any penalty, and they're actually incentivized to pull the plug. So right here, you see the woman in the comments, they're saying, my man says, sometimes when you say X, it hurts my feelings a little. I damn near cried. Right here, you see another woman like, how dare you respond to each point I spoke on and then actually change your behavior and expect me to do the same? They're literally snitching on themselves in the comment section. I don't even know why people be dating these people. I really don't understand why people really date these people. Like, especially when you're talking about American women, I would, me personally, I would not date American women in terms of serious. I'm talking about dating them seriously. No, you can't even be mad when even you'll hear some of the PUAs, right? And I know they're corny, and I know I don't really listen to it, but a lot of them will say recreational use only. There's a reason why they say that. Is because these people are really not to be taken seriously. And right here, this is why I said, when I was in the Russell Wilson Sierra video that I made last year, I told you the reason why Sierra wants out. Every time Sierra was trying to drop one of them tracks talking about she's independent and all this shit, right? And she's still trying to drop those City Girl tracks. Her straggle daggle fans were calling her out for saying, no, you can't make no tracks like this anymore. You got your Russell Wilson. You got what you was looking for. Even her straggle fans, her hood rat chick fans were calling her out. We're saying, "Oh, you can't make music like this anymore." Because when you're in a healthy relationship, like they swear they say they want, now what now responsibility comes with that. So now when something happens because the husband is doing or the man is doing his part, now the onus and the responsibility goes on you. Now people are going to ask you to do your part because the husband is doing their part. This is why you're seeing all these fake, you see the stuff that Steve Crowder's going through, the fake allegations, all the stuff she has to. This is why a lot of men go through a lot of fake allegations, particularly decent men, because in most cases they have to make something up. They have to, or everybody else is just going to look at them like, why did you divorce that man again? Okay, why did you break up with a man? Oh, he was toxic and he was abusive. You see, it's always the same. It's always the same. They have to label it something. They can't say, well, he didn't let me go to the club. And I just don't like how he had questions for me going on a girls trip by herself. Meanwhile, she was doing that to cheat, because if she actually laid out the situation, even the normies are going to be like, oh, it sounds like you were preparing yourself to cheat. But what they say is, oh, he was controlling and he was a narcissist. And most normies will fall for these for these things. Somebody said, I have an attitude problems and my husband is not taking the bait at all. He's a walking green forest. Now you have the women in this comment section basically showing themselves that they're toxic people. they're showing that they're the toxic people, literally snitching on themselves in the comment section. And people will still fall for it when women will go through a breakup and all this stuff, talking about he's toxic and abusive, because they have to make something up. They have to, because when they're in a healthy, stable relationship, now the accountability and the responsibility goes on the woman to do her part. This is why women love being with drug dealers and criminals and these people, because at the end of the day, if things don't work out, well, he was a drug dealer. Oh, he look at his tattoos. He was abusive, quote unquote, right? This is why they like to go with a dude that has all these multiple baby mamas. Well, he is a deadbeat, quote unquote. They want to put themselves in a situation where they can still make themselves look like the victim. Because just off GP, if they told the truth about the situation, nobody would be feeling sorry for 304s out here. They wouldn't. If they describe the situation. Most of the times when you do the background research, aka what Steve Crowder is going through, right, with his wife Hillary Crowder, you do the research, you'll realize, okay, obviously, okay, the man wasn't perfect, but what did you do? What was were you doing your responsibility? Did you do your fair share? Because it looks like to me you weren't even doing your fair share, and he was just asking you to do like one thing, and you just couldn't do that one thing, while he was doing like 20 other things, and you asked him to do more on top of that, and then he asked you to do probably one thing that it was probably like one thing he asked you not to do, and because you were just mad at that one thing, out of all the other things he gave you passes for, he just wanted you to like just at least not do that, and you still crossed the line. Right here. Look at another comment. It says, our first fight, I blew up and yelled, and he looked at me genuinely confused and said, I understand I hurt your feelings. We're going to address that so I never make this mistake again, because I'm so sorry, but we don't have to yell at each other to do that. So I'm telling you guys got to wake up. You guys got to wake up. So right here, finally somebody gets it. So somebody said here, somebody said, apparently taking accountability and actually being mature is too much for most women. Exactly. Yes, finally, somebody that understands. You got all these women literally joking about themselves being toxic people. And I'm just looking at the comment section. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, nobody gonna call them out for being toxic beings in their relationships with decent, normal men. Wow. Finally. You see, here we go with the paragraph of excuses. The paragraph of excuses. Now people talking about healing and all that. Nah. As soon as I see that shit, nah. Imagine if Ike Turner. Okay. Imagine if Ike Turner was coming out and be like, man, I just yelled at my bitch and she just started actually doing what she's supposed to do, and I couldn't believe it. People would have been calling him abusive, which they did. Do we have to replay the interview he did with that girl in the 90s? He was basically doing the same thing that she's doing. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring up since I want you guys to pay attention. Just pay attention. Pay attention to this interview real quick. Pay attention. Pay attention. And see the difference. Fair use.
I want to read something from the May issue of Vanity Fair. It says, quote, Ike Turner struck Tina on a regular basis for 16 years. With everything from shoes to coat hangers, once putting a burning cigarette to her lips.
Okay, I can stop you. I know where you're going. Okay, with all of this, if you look at Tina, you see any of those scars? She said I broke her jaw on it. If you ask a doctor can tell you, if I broke her jaw, no way is she going on stage.
You admit that you have slapped Tina before, but why, Ike?
She would be walking around looking sad. Looking sad with a lip drop, and I keep asking her, and what is the matter with you? What's wrong? And it's always nothing. And it would go on for a day or two till finally, why the don't you? And then this is where I would slap her or something. Then she would change her mood or attitude or something.
What's the difference? In my opinion, there's no difference. And for the normies to be like, how could you compare such? There's no difference. Here you have women in the comment section here literally admitting to being toxic, admitting it, showing that, look, I was doing this and I was just surprised that he was mature about this. So he was just mature enough to take your toxicity. Nah. See, somebody said, I'm tired of y'all. This comment section crazy. Exactly. They're literally admitting to being toxic beings. Women in this comment section. I don't know if you guys are able to see it on your screen, but in this comment section, I want you to see, I want you to peep the username, and I don't want you guys to harass her or anything. I'm just saying, just look at the comment section. And men are just basically conditioned to accept their wife being crazy, just being an absolute menace, and the men are just supposed to just take it and just be like mature about it while she's being a baby. This is crazy. In my opinion, this is crazy to me.